Hi, I'm Mark Ryan. In this video, I'll describe how to deploy a fastai model in a simple web application on Windows, and contrast this experience with my experience deploying Keras models in a similar framework. The game plan is to deploy a model that has been trained on the adult sample fastai curated tabular dataset. The features in this dataset describe attributes of individuals, including age, education level, occupation, and hours worked per week. The fastai model trained on this dataset predicts whether an individual represented by a row in this table has an income greater than $50K. We want to deploy this model in a simple web application served by Flask on a local Windows machine. In this video, I'll describe some of the problems I had to overcome to get this deployment to work. I'll also compare this fastai model deployment with the deployment of a Keras model. Let's go through how the finished deployment is supposed to work. The user goes to the web page home.html, served by the Flask module, and selects the characteristics for the individual they want to get a salary prediction for, including age, education level, occupation, and country. These characteristics get sent to a view function in the Flask module, where they get loaded into a data frame and used to invoke the trained fastai model. The view function sends the prediction that comes back from the model to another web page, showprediction.html, that displays the prediction. I adapted this framework from several previous deployments of Keras models, and I hope that deploying the fastai model would work out of the box. But as you'll see, I was not so lucky. I expected it would be easy to deploy the fastai model using the same framework I had used for Keras, but I hit two major problems trying to load and apply the fastai model. First, loading the model failed on POSIX path errors. To get the model to load without errors, I needed to import specific libraries for Windows to replace the generic POSIX path library, as you can see here. I also needed to specify the path for the model using the OS-independent path_join API, and then call loadLearner with a single parameter that was the fully qualified path for the model. Next, once I had successfully loaded the model, trying to invoke it for a particular set of scoring parameters kept failing on shape mismatch errors. To fix this problem, I needed to update pandas to the latest level on my Windows system. In addition to the problems I just described, there were a couple of ways that deploying the fastai model was better than deploying Keras models. First, with Keras, I tried to find a way to load the model once when the Flask server started. However, I couldn't get that to work, so I had to load the Keras model every time a user asked for a prediction. For fastai, I was able to simply load the model once when the Flask server started, which meant that the user experience was faster since the model didn't need to be loaded again for each prediction. Second, with Keras, I had to put a lot of work into creating and training a pipeline to ensure that categorical values were associated with the same numeric value at inference time as they had at training time. In other words, I needed to be sure that if Monday was mapped to 0 when the model was trained, then Monday was also mapped to 0 when the deployed model was invoked. For fastai, the transformation of categorical values was automatically incorporated in the trained model, so I didn't need to worry about a pipeline for the fastai model when I deployed it. The correct transformations were made to the categorical values without any additional effort from me. Now let's see the deployment in action. I'm going to click on Get Prediction and see what prediction the model comes back with. Here it's predicting the individual with the values specified has an income of less than $50K. Let's get another prediction. This time, we're just going to select a different education level. We're going to say Masters and ask for a prediction again. And this time, the model predicts the individual will have an income greater than $50K. And that's a quick overview of deploying fastai models on Windows using Flask-based web applications. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.